Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
Bandwidth for All About Android is provided by CacheFly at CacheFly.com.
This episode of All About Android is brought to you by Casper, an online retailer of premium mattresses for a fraction of the price, because everyone deserves a great night's sleep. Get $50 off any mattress purchase by visiting casper.com/Android and enter promo code Android. And by lynda.com, the online learning platform with over 3,000 on-demand video courses to help you strengthen your business, technology, and creative skills. For a free 10-day trial, visit lynda.com/allaboutandroid. That's LYNDA.com/allaboutandroid. And by the Ring Video Doorbell. With Ring, you can see and talk to anyone at your door from anywhere in the world using your smartphone. It's like caller ID for your home. Right now, get free expedited FedEx shipping in time for the holidays when you go to ring.com/allaboutandroid. Hello, welcome to another episode of All About Android, episode 244, recorded on Tuesday, December 15th, 2015. We're your weekly source for the latest news, hardware, and apps for the Android faithful. I'm Jason Howell.
I'm Ron Richards.
And I'm Florence Ion.
Woohoo!
All right.
Yeah? Are we feeling Christmassy?
We are feeling Christmas. This is our last show of the year together because I'm leaving.
That's very
I'm
sad.
going back to. Well, no, I'll be on Skype next week.
Okay.
But together. Together. Yeah, no. I mean, our last show together.
Okay.
As
It's
a
like
family.
all in one place, like a happy
Yeah,
family.
exactly. Yeah, because I'll be on Skype next
I
week.
just realized something.
That next week is Christmas, and oh my God, you still have to shop?
No, I did my shopping in October. We're both going to be at CES together.
We will be CES together.
Does that mean you're going to be here alone?
Oh, yeah. We're going to
I
figure that out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Does that
That's
mean
a 2016 problem.
that's
No,
so
you're right.
far
That's
away?
a 2016 problem.
Not
That's
anything
next
we need
year.
to start planning
Yeah.
now
Or-
by a stretch.
In the middle of a new show.
Yeah.
But that's something to look forward to. 'Cause
Oh boy. Okay. What a bombshell.
Sorry
that I
about
have
that.
to like process this.
I realized.
I think we can figure it out. And that's because we have a lot of amazing guests that we invite on the show from time to time, including today's amazing guest, Chris Lacey. You may know him as the developer of Action Launcher 3 and once the developer of LinkBubble. How's it going, Chris?
I'm really good. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Always a pleasure to get you on the show. And actually, since the last time you were on, you started a podcast of your own. Tell us a little bit about the blurg.
Yeah, I seemingly needed another avenue to express all my rambling tech thoughts. Social media wasn't enough for me, but no, it's something I've been sort of pondering doing for ages, and then I just thought in the aftermath of Google I/O, I'll do it and see what comes of it, and yeah, it's been fun. I wish I didn't have to edit. I wish there was an app that would do that for me. But,
welcome to the guild as you find out that sure, it's fun to talk about stuff for a half an hour to an hour, but then editing it afterwards and publishing it is a nightmare. But
yeah, even publishing is a pain, right?
Yep.
Especially in Australia where the internet is basically a one-way network. So trying to upload anything is a very painful experience. And anyway,
Wait, what time is it there right now?
It's 11:30 at lunchtime.
Oh, okay.
I was like 11.
12 hours till Star Wars.
Oh, he gets Star Wars. Yeah, don't spoil it.
Don't say
He's
a
in the
word.
future.
He's
You
in
can
the
tell you
future.
he's in the future. He
Yeah.
knows. So are you
I
going?
am the king of no spoilers. I haven't seen a trailer. I haven't looked at a poster. And
It's a good man right there. It's a good man.
So.
Smart.
Will you be seeing it like right away? Do you have plans?
Yeah. I'm seeing it tonight with a bunch of buddies. So I think I'm going to have a nap this afternoon, though, if I'm any chance of making it.
Fair enough. I have a feeling it'll keep you awake. Real quick before we kind of get into the show, so LinkBubble was kind of the app that that put your name on my own personal radar, I suppose. I love LinkBubble. It turns out you sold LinkBubble back in August. Is there any
Yep.
Is there any details around this? Like, I'm very curious how you create an amazing app like LinkBubble and then suddenly you don't have it anymore. What's going
Well, I actually did a dedicated podcast episode on the process of developing and selling Link Bubble. So anyone who's interested should check that out. But at a high level,
yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, basically I developed it and conceived and developed it, and then it just got to the point where, because I have Action Launcher as well, Action Launcher was doing a lot better, and I think you could make the case that it's almost too much for one person to do one app the size of Action Launcher, but it's definitely the case. But I make that work. But it's definitely the case that it's too much for one person to maintain two apps of that size. And I just had someone get in touch and was offered to buy it, and it worked out well. And because I just feel like Link Bubble, I think it's a terrific concept that needs a team behind it to really make it shine. And yeah, it worked out that someone was willing to do that. So I can't speak for the people that bought Link Bubble, only to say that I guess keep an eye out for their announcements, which I would expect a sooner rather than later, but I don't know. But yeah, I mean that's a very short version there.
No, that actually makes a whole lot of sense. I mean, when you're a one-person
shop
development team in air quotes, because team implies more than one person, but really when you're doing multiple apps and everything, that's the point, right? You almost require a team to be able to keep up on that in a way that I imagine users kind of have expectations or demands in some way on that. And you've certainly continued your support on Action Launcher 3 incredibly. You've been iterating on that quite a bit.
Yeah, it's been a big year for Action Launcher. I'd hoped coming on today I'd be able to I'd have released my December update, but it just hasn't. Yeah, I've just been.
It's the holidays.
Give yourself a break.
Yeah, please.
Yeah,
now's the time to scale down.
Star Wars is happening.
Exactly. That's cool.
I wish I could say I'd be feeling a lot better right now if that were the reason I'd been slowing down. It's just I added a feature and then I added another one, and then I thought, oh look, I've really got to revamp my the onboarding process because it was just awful. And I added also a system for long-time users of the app, because one of the sort of constant challenges, I guess, with independent app development like mine is if people bought the app, a year ago or something like that, obviously they like the app. I don't particularly want to get into the point where each new feature that I add requires another upgrade. And my hope is that if people are still using the app, I can come up with a system where people want to, pay a nominal amount just as a sort of acknowledgement of the value that they get out of it. So that's what I've been working on, and that's sort of caused a bit of delays, but I think it's worthwhile. But yeah, hopefully it'll be out, before Christmas. Otherwise, I'm going to have to rename the December 2016 update to something else, which I don't want to do.
The Happy New Year update. Yeah. Start your New Year's off right with this update. Well, cool stuff. It's awesome to get you on. And really quick before we continue on, we have somebody in the audience who brought this in. Actually made it.
Very cool.
This is paper. This is paper right here. Gary and Jen are here. They are from
Portland. They're from
Portland with pulp. What is it? Pulp and pulp decal. Anyways, very cool. This is paper. They make this on their own, and just a really cool gift that they brought in. I kind of want to frame it.
Pulp and Decal. You can go to pulpanddecal.com and find out more about it.
Nice.
That's awesome stuff. I love it.
Yeah.
I
want to frame it and put it in the background for the future. There we go.
Very, very
cool. Check it out.
That's a very Portland thing.
Making your own paper.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's artisanal paper.
Artisanal paper.
Yeah,
there we go.
There you go. Sorry.
All right. So we got a lot of news to talk about. Well, I think we do. I think it was kind of trying to figure it all out in the beginning, and then we realized we actually
email
do
thread
have stuff.
3 hours ago. What did we talk about today?
Exactly. But we always figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
We always figure it out.
There's always something.
Android Pay for apps, inside apps. We have, I have right here. I'm running the show on a Pixel C.
Which is ridiculous.
We'll see how this goes. I have my Chromebook Pixel underneath the chair in case I have an emergency event.
Oh, I didn't actually know. Oh,
It's because he's prepared.
Which I feel like is kind of cheating, but I'm going to try my best to not resort to that. So Pixel C, we'll talk a little bit about that. Droid Turbo 2, you spent some time with that.
I did.
How Nexus devices are made, a really interesting Reddit thread about that. Google's best developer tools for 2015, and more. But why waste any more time? Let's get to the news right now, Brian.
The holidays are here, and we have a gift for you that you don't have to unwrap. It's called Android News.
Really good.
That was a.
We unwrapped it for you.
Yeah, that was an interesting one.
Yeah.
That was There we go. All right.
By the way,
Yeah.
I've been working on clips for the best of 2015.
Is it just a run on
Half
of Brian?
of it is Brian.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah, that's just because I have to focus on one part of the show. You guys have the whole
That's
show to
true.
carry.
It's well deserved. He does bring his A game to the Android News segment, to the old timey
Yes.
Android News.
There we go.
But speaking of the news, as you mentioned, Android Pay got a little expansion as it's now available for use inside mobile apps as an alternative option when paying for goods and services. Apps such as Jet, Lyft, Hotel Tonight, OpenTable, and Instacart, for example, are all apps that are now enabled with Android Pay. And if you need incentive to try out Android Pay via this way, and you have a Nexus device, wow, that rhymed, and you have a Nexus device, you can use it to pay for something before December 31st, and you'll get a $20 e-gift card from Best Buy added to your Android Pay wallet. And that's US only, of course. But
Because that's how they roll. That's how
but
Google
hey,
rules.
I'm cashing in on that because
Well,
I
heck yeah.
use Lyft. I've been meaning to use Instacart. I use OpenTable. So yeah.
$20 is no small scratch either.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a good offer.
You get some good stuff with that.
And that shows that they are now deadly serious about getting Android Pay into the hands of people, so much so that they're adding a monetary incentive, that they're paying out to get these e-gift cards from Best Buy to incentivize us to use it.
Google's very good about incentivizing. I mean, their Chromecast devices right now, you get a Chromecast device, not only do you get $5 off, but you also get Google Play Store credit, like $20 Play Store credit. Chromecast just as a device in and of itself
I have to
pays
remember.
for itself
I have to
over
remember
time.
to
Their
check
giveaways
it.
are crazy.
Yes, they really do.
They've just given away so much. Like I would expect I've easily got the price back just from, oh, you get a free rental this month and that sort of jazz.
Now, what's funny is that I already use Lyft, and my payment method is Google Wallet.
Well, that's the thing, right? It's kind of like, oh, you mean you can do this now? Something that you could already do
kind
with
of,
something that was
sort of,
named a little differently. But now you can do it in this new thing.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a new thing I didn't know I could use, but yeah, so it's fine.
All right, so now I gotta buy something before the end of the year with Android Pay.
They also announced with Android Pay that it's coming to Australia as the next country.
Oh, okay, excellent. So you're not totally hosed as far as Google services never making it to your side of the world. Okay, awesome. So has that already happened then at this point?
No, they announced it's coming in the first half of next year, and they announced the initial banks and that sort of stuff.
Yep.
But yeah, it's good for me. I guess that Australia is the first country off the rank outside the States because we don't have Apple Pay yet either.
Yeah, it looks like so. In early 2016 in Australia, they've partnered with ANZ and Westpac and the other financial institutions of Australia, and you'll be able to use it at 7-Eleven, McDonald's, and Telstra, whatever that is.
What is Telstra?
Is that like Tesco?
Telstra is the biggest network in Australia.
Oh, it's a phone network.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So yeah, look at that, expanding to Australia.
Okay, so maybe I missed a detail here, but it sounds like what you were saying that it's use Android Pay with one of the supported new services, or is it just
that's
in
separate.
general?
That is separate. So if you have a Nexus device and you use Android Pay, and at any of the 1 million plus locations.
Okay, great.
So all you need to do
Whole
is
Foods.
So you don't need
I go
to
there
use
every week. That'll be easy.
go to Whole Foods. You don't need to ride around the block with Lyft in order to get this.
That's where we shop.
How do you go to Whole Foods every week?
How many mouths do you have to feed in your house? You've got a lot, right?
Four total mouths.
4 total mouths.
It's a grocery outlet
grocery
down
store.
the street. Go to the bargains.
So listen, Jason, if you want to go,
But they don't have Android Pay.
Fine. But you know what? CVS is supposed to take Android Pay as well, but now they've completely just cut it off. I don't know what happened.
Oh, really?
Do they really?
I can't use it.
Oh.
And I'm really
I use
annoyed
it- the ones in
because
the
I
city
scan
work.
my card with Android Pay and then I can't scan my phone and it's dumb. And they're like, "Oh, sorry, Apple Pay isn't working." I'm like, "This isn't Apple Pay, you fools. It's Android."
I'm sure that happens a lot, actually. Bet you. So moving on to the next story here, I think this will make at least those of us with more than one mouth to feed.
Yes.
There you go.
Happy.
Speaking of which.
A promise that was made at Google's Nexus event back in September was that there was going to be a family plan coming to Play Music, and that would be for $14.99, support for up to 6 people. Each person on the account has its own profile, libraries, recommendations, playlists, and history. And then YouTube Red included for all people on the plan. That is happening. I don't believe it's rolled out exactly yet, but they say it's coming. So probably in the next few days or whatever.
Going.
So yeah, and and I think for me, like from a selfish perspective, I'm like, yeah, but I'm on the early adopter $8 plan.
That's the thing. Yeah.
I want my $2 discount.
What do I do here? But then when you really figure it out, like even if it's for 2 people, that's $16 at the $8 plan level. This would still be less than that. So I suppose if you think of it like that, but
At least you can use Google
And
Music.
YouTube Red, right?
what's that?
And adding in YouTube Red, like it's a
Yeah.
stupendously good
That's true.
value.
That's true.
Oh man, can I
forgot
tell?
about that.
I feel like the YouTube Red thing was this like, oh, and you also get this, and people were like, yeah, okay, whatever, big deal. It's like the best thing in the world.
It really
to
is,
watch
yeah.
to experience YouTube and not get any sort of ads in the experience.
To the point where I was on a computer where I was not logged in and
like,
and I was like,
"What?"
what is this? Like it was,
Yes.
like to the point where I've been not seeing ads for so long now, and it's only been a couple of weeks that now I feel it. So
You guys were complaining that MTV wasn't playing music videos anymore. And now Google has given it to you in the form of YouTube Red.
great.
Music videos, no ads.
Yeah.
And cats with no ads.
And cats with no ads, which MTV does not
Yeah.
have.
That's above and beyond.
Technically, YouTube isn't giving. It's Vivo who's giving it to us, or whoever owns all the rights to all
Oh,
the
that's
dang,
right.
to all the dang,
Vivo owns
to
all
all the music videos.
Which I
yeah.
haven't watched a music video in years.
I miss the art of the music video. They were great. I used to tape.
know.
I used to tape on VHS 120 minutes.
VHS, what's that?
It's a recording. It's a
It's a
media.
tape.
It's a media that you can
removable
record video.
media.
Tape.
A removable media.
Tape.
Media. But yeah, I used to tape 120 minutes and then watch it all through the week. 2 hours of great music. She has no idea what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about because I
Yeah.
used to tape NSYNC on SNL. Thank you very much.
That was the one
I know how
time
to
I did
use.
that.
I know how to use VHS. No, I had before digital downloads. I had the cassette player in my nice stereo system that I got for my 14th birthday, and I used that to record the music off the radio because singles
same
you couldn't
thing.
just go like on Spotify
Right.
and be like, the single's out, I'm gonna listen to it. Like I'd have to.
I did the same thing. I hooked up my stereo to the VCR and recorded the audio out, and I record songs from 120 minutes onto mixtapes from the videos because I didn't buy the albums or whatever. But here's a little note about the generation gap. You can tell the generation gap.
okay.
My sister, I was talking to her, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I taped that." And I was like, "No, you didn't tape it. You recorded it on your DVR." And she's like, "Yeah, same thing."
Yeah, but it's carried over. No, totally.
Sad
Anyway, I'm
works.
sorry. We're off topic.
It works.
So, yeah.
I get it. Well, next in big news from Google is Project Fi. You can now add another device to it. Google said that they would like it if you add a tablet. They actually put on a couple of suggestions for you there. Nexus 9, Nexus 7, 2 of the iPads, and the Samsung Galaxy Tab S. So it's last year's Samsung Galaxy tablet. But they also said if you want, you could get a data-only SIM card for some of your smartphones and see if it works. You can try it out. It's free. As long as you have a open Project Fi subscription already on your Nexus device, you can request a free nano SIM and get some
is
data.
really cool. That's
pretty cool.
And it's nice. You won't have to worry about tethering your phone to your tablet, which is kind of an issue that I have. I actually just got like a data warning today from Verizon for going over because of the said tethering.
Right.
But in this instance, you would essentially, whatever data you use on the tablet with your nano SIM, it would be added to your Project Fi bill. So
it's just all
pay
the
for of that
devices are
collectively.
sharing that single pool of data.
And you can have up to 9 devices. So if you have a lot of tablets or
Mm-hmm.
a lot of phones for whatever reason, then just pop it in there. And Again, the phone,
That's
when I say
awesome.
phone, I mean data only. So you will,
Right.
you will only have cellular and text messages on the Nexus device that you have Project Fi on.
The primary.
But it's kind of nice now. Like,
That's really cool.
Like, it helps you sort of keep in the Google family, you know, with the tablets, and you don't have to worry about tethering. And
As
One
I
thing I'd say about this is it would actually make me inclined to consider a tablet with a cellular connection, which is something I've never ever
Yeah.
done before. Simply because I just dismiss it out of hand. I'm just like, there's no
It's
way
great.
I'm paying another data connection. No, go away. So
Yeah.
I just always get the Wi-Fi tablet. But with this, I would certainly consider the more expensive hardware model.
Yeah. I'm actually, as I make the upgrade to the Nexus 5X at some point this month, I was having a conversation with a friend of mine who's on Project Fi, who's not a tech blogger or a podcaster, like a normal. And it was I don't know, I'm just saying, I mean, it's one
normal.
it's one
we
thing,
live
it's
in,
one thing for
we
Jason
live in
to
a
tell me-
particular world.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's one thing for Jason to tell me how great a service is, and then but to hear from somebody in the real world who's like, oh yeah, I'm using it and it's awesome, and talk for 10 minutes about how great Project Fi is. I was like, all right, maybe. And considering that I would save like $100 on my bill, you know, I'm paying like $120. I've been afraid because on T-Mobile, I got an old grandfathered T-Mobile account where I've got
Yeah.
unlimited data and I can tether unlimited. You know, like
you could tether unlimited.
yeah. And so like that's right. So
like-
this is why I'm hesitant
To
move.
worship you. That's
I know.
amazing.
I know. That's why I'm hesitant to.
I'll
I'm
get out
so
of the way.
jealous. I'm so jealous.
I'll parry the worship over to Rob.
That's why somebody was we were talking about the Nexus phones, like, well, why don't you just go to T-Mobile and upgrade the phone, you know, like through them, because you probably do. I'm like, yeah, but I don't want
Yeah,
another
you'll lose-
contract.
you'll-
I don't
you'll
want to
screw
like
it all up.
I'm like a holdout. I've got this
Yeah.
contract from 2007 that I will not let go of.
Yeah,
and, you know, so
that's tough. I've got the $30 plan on
Right.
T-Mobile,
Yeah.
which I would love to do Project Fi, but honestly, I would spend more than the $30
That's
plan.
that's why I'm trying to figure out the math. I'm trying to figure out the
I'll
math
just
to
stick with
see.
it.
you know,
I
if
do
or
think,
not.
I mean, any other network, at least here in the U.S., any other network that would do this is going to charge you a regular kind of fee for a device just to have the access, the ability to do that.
Verizon
so that's
does.
pretty awesome
It's
that
like-
you get it for free.
Yeah, it's totally free. They just add it
It's
onto
just
your bill.
additional.
And it's a free SIM card, which is like, I mean, most SIM cards are free anyway, depending on how nice your carrier is.
Yeah, or how nice the representative is when you go in to visit with them.
Exactly.
Chris, in where you are in Australia, are there any plans or any services that compare even closely to what Google's doing with Project Fi?
No, I wish I could say otherwise, but there's nothing like it. I would certainly be really interested to sign up for it, but as we sort of discussed with Android Pay, I obviously Google focus on America first so often, and yeah, I don't expect Project Fi would come to Australia anytime soon.
Yeah, yeah, very cool. I don't know if it's enough to bring me over. Yeah, I guess I don't really have a tablet that has that that mobile network access, but I do have an Nexus 6. I could throw it in there, and it's a Wi-Fi beast in and of itself.
It's nearly a tablet.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It is.
As Flo alluded to earlier, and Jason alluded to, we were planning today's show, and we're trying to figure this slow news as we're getting to the holidays. But we want to start looking back at 2015 and look at how Google and Android has evolved. And considering we have Chris, who's a great developer with us, we wanted to kind of talk a little bit about Google's developer efforts. And so, Chris, you know, here you are, December 2015, as a developer, how has your life improved or gotten harder thanks to the changes that Google's made to the developer world on Android?
I can't think of anything offhand where I would say Google have made life harder. I think by and large they've done a really terrific job this year. The biggest thing that comes to mind is Android Studio. They're clearly investing a lot of resources in improving that, and it's already started with a very good base using IntelliJ, and they've obviously put a lot of effort adding some great new tools and debugging features, and just recently they announced Instant Run, which was something I just happened to have a little Twitter rant on a Friday, and then they announced a very similar thing on the Monday, because it was just doing my head in, where I'd make a code change and I just wanted to see that on my device instantly. And it was taking me, 20, 30, 40, 50 seconds, depending on a few different factors. And it may not necessarily sound like much, but if you just want to tweak a little thing, it really adds up, and it's enough time that you're like, oh, I've got 20 seconds here, I'll check my Twitter ads, and then you're out of your headspace. And it also means you're less likely to do that one last iteration to maybe tweak it, another sub-pixel more. And by adding this feature, it doesn't work quite yet, but I'm confident it'll largely get there. And I think that was a tremendous initiative.
We've also got Google saying an official goodbye to Eclipse.
Sunsetting Eclipse.
Sunsetting Eclipse. It's supposed to happen by the end of 2015, which is what they said.
Just 2 weeks away.
Which is right around the corner. Are you going to miss Eclipse as it walks off into the sunset and falls off the cliff?
No. I'm certainly not going to bash, open source software or anything like that, but I never particularly enjoyed it, and Android Studio is better in every meaningful way for me. So no, I'm not the least bit sad to see the end of Eclipse.
So let's see here. Android Studio 2.0, that happened in November. I just saw today about there's a new Android emulator within Android Studio 2.0. Have you had much experience with that? And I imagine that's got to be a big improvement.
I tried it, but it crashed, and I sort of tried it once when I had like a spare minute, and I didn't have a spare 5 minutes to try and figure out what I might have been doing wrong or how to get it going. So I just left it at that. But and that's not officially released yet. I think that's a preview. So I might just go back to that when they do the official release. But yeah, I mean the Android emulator has long been a very weak point of Android development, and it was clear for anyone to see this. And I think one of the things you always have to keep in mind when talking about tool stuff is it's easy for external developers, for me, to jump up and down and complain about stuff. But you have to also keep in mind that there are thousands and thousands of Android developers inside of Google. And they're all almost certainly jumping up and down complaining about the same thing. So I'm sure many inside of Google have been wishing for a better situation as far as the emulator for quite a long time. So it's really great to see that Google continue to invest so much in the developer tools, and I think it will lead to better apps. It will lead to faster iteration time, and another thing you could say Google have done a lot of emphasis on this year is encouraging developers to test their apps with automated testing and tools around that. So yeah, it's been a good year.
Yeah. So as you're looking forward to as you're singing Auld Lang Syne and thinking about next year, what's the one thing in 2016 that you hope to see Google does in terms of developer support?
I would really love a simulator rather than an emulator. I still think back to my days as an iOS developer, and it was just instant to get changes. It was so fast getting changes running back and forth, and this was 5 years ago probably on the iPad simulator. There's just a bunch of steps that can effectively be removed from taking the Java code and having it run on the emulator if you use a simulator. But then, look, to be fair, maybe I shouldn't necessarily make that claim until Google have released Instant Run and the new emulator that they're working on in final form, and then we can see how long they're taking. But for me, at a very high level, the number one thing I want is I just want to make a change and see it running, in the shortest possible time, so that I can, keep iterating and trying to make the app better. Yeah,
I have to imagine that would be such a speed bump. Yeah. If every change that you make, if you want to preview it, having to wait 20 to 30 seconds in aggregate, that would be enough for me to want to pull my hair out anyway. Yeah. So, It definitely can be annoying, and like I said, can distract you. I can allow myself to get distracted, and you do that one less iteration, and
Yeah. So that at a high level, that's definitely my answer there.
It's like I have to close my Twitter apps if I want to hunker down and do something. And if I'm waiting 20 seconds, throughout the process, I'm going to open it up again. And that's going to be actually 2 minutes because I'm going to get lost in that world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So before we move on, just one quick correction from the chat room, actually, that IBM made Eclipse and not Google, and it will still be available for Java development. It's just Google support, and Eclipse as a key Android tool that's what is being sunsetted. So
it's the Android plugin that Google aren't using. Eclipse is used for a whole variety of different languages, certainly Java, but I did Python development in Eclipse, and Eclipse isn't going anywhere. Just Google's official Android support for it.
Got it.
Yeah, exactly. So cool.
All right.
Well, thanks, Chris. Good to get that insight. Always like to hear from the developers.
I mean, that's a perspective that it's hard for us to understand. We don't live in that world.
But I hope for Chris and the other developers in 2016 that they get a good night's sleep.
I hope they get the gifts that they're looking for under the Christmas tree from Google. One great
transitioning.
Gift. Oh, I see. Now I see. Now I see what you're saying.
I was wishing for a good night's sleep.
Sorry, this whole Pixel C thing. I'm going to blame it for everything today. This episode is brought to you by the fine folks at Casper. All of my wonderful nights of sleep are also brought to me by Casper because I have a Casper mattress at home. Casper is an online retailer of premium mattresses. Casper is actually revolutionizing the mattress industry by cutting the cost of dealing with resellers and showrooms, and by doing so, they're passing that savings directly on to the consumer. Their mattresses are obsessively engineered mattresses at an excellent, fair price. It's 2 technologies in there. That's latex and memory foam. And, it's just combined to make, hopefully to make you sleep better. Better nights, brighter days as a result of sleeping good at night. It's a comfortable mattress, has just the right sink, just the right bounce. And, you can buy it online. That's the beauty of this mattress. I know you think of a mattress, you think of going into, a bedding or mattress store and laying down on all the mattresses that they have on display and, laying there for maybe 5, 10, 20 seconds and then making a snap decision as a result of that. This is different. Casper understands that you need to try out a mattress and for longer than just 10, 15, 20 seconds. Casper has free delivery, painless returns within a 100-day period, so you don't have to lie down in the showroom anymore. They can just deliver you the mattress. You can sleep on it for up to 100 days and still return it and get your money back, basically, if you don't like it. I have a feeling you're going to like it, though. Statistically, lying on a bed in a showroom has no correlation to whether it's the right bed for you. Although, what else are you going to do when you're there? I mean, of course you're going to lay down on it. It's just you're not going to gain from that what you think you are, and you might still end up with a mattress that you don't like. Get a Casper mattress that's $500 for a twin, all the way up to $950 for a king size. Compared to industry averages, it's an excellent price. Once you compare them yourself, you'll see what I mean. You can save an additional $50 as one of our audience members by going to casper.com/Android and entering the promo code Android. That's casper.com/Android, promo code Android. Terms and conditions do apply. For details, you want to visit casper.com/terms. So go to casper.com/Android, use the promo code Android, and check it out for yourself. And we thank Casper for their support of All About Android. All right, Brian, I know this is kind of crazy, but I think now's a good time to go to hardware. All right.
So Santa Claus brought you a present.
A couple of presents.
A couple of presents. So
Google Claus?
Was it Google Claus? Was it the Google Claus in front of us?
I don't know if he had anything to do with it, but I do have the Pixel C here. Got it in studio. You can see I'm running my Drive account is, the All About Android spreadsheet is here. Okay, so I've got the actual Pixel C tablet, which is this one right here.
In the world's most powerful magnet.
Yeah, Jason, talk about the magnet. How do you feel about the magnet on that keyboard?
Well, let's just do a demo. Let's just do a demo right here, right now. Okay.
I want to
hear
your
the
thoughts
magnet
on
is in the
this.
keyboard.
All right, so
now watch this.
Just leave it there. We'll see if it can move the way it moved for you, Ron. Yeah, I don't know how to do this without covering it up. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna go slowly. Ah. No. Yeah, it just snaps right to it.
But it's so ridiculously strong. I thought I was gonna break the tablet
get
in
it
half.
off. Yeah. All right, ready?
It's really hard to take off. Which is good, I guess.
Wait, yeah, it's good. Like this, ready? Let's turn it like that.
Trying to dance with the cameras. like you almost feel like if your finger's there, it's going to get
powerful.
snapped.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
very powerful.
Absolutely.
But it's not going to. The magnet isn't that strong that it would hurt you if you got your finger caught in there.
Yeah.
But it's strong enough. So what Google recommends is that you slide it in order to dismount it. Right? You don't just pull it off. Oh, and there we go. So
I mean, it's so powerful that this is what happens. I mean, you can literally.
Oh yeah, you don't have to worry about it falling off. I hope.
I'm literally shaking both sides, and it is not coming off. So
You made me do this, Pixel C. You made me do this.
I learned it from watching you. All
Learned
right.
it from watching you. Okay, so so we've got the Pixel C with its typical of the Chromebook Pixel line design
wrinkles.
trappings, I suppose. Just a really nice kind of metal unibody design. The tablet itself is it's a super sharp tablet. Very nice performance. I feel like it speeds through everything.
The benchmarks on this thing were ridiculous. And I know benchmarks is just benchmarks, but this is a Tegra X2 in it, which is like the first, I think this is the first major product to have it, to be using it. And it's ridiculously speedy, fast.
It's nice. Now, mind you, okay, I've only been using this since last night. I got it yesterday. I didn't have time to open it until last night. Whew, look at that. I know, it just snaps
Do you have
right
any
on.
keyboard latency issues? Because I had not the physical keyboard, but the on-screen keyboard.
Oh.
Because when I used the on-screen keyboard, like there were some latency issues, and I remember
Okay, how do I get the
cursing
on-screen
at the
keyboard
Pixel
in there?
C. Sorry, Google.
Oh, there we go. Is it that? I don't know.
So
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, it's just, it feels like it just is. I don't know. I just feel like the tablet thing is just not completely refined.
You're very anti-tablet.
I'm not anti-tablet because, well, I mean, I use
You're anti-crossover tablet.
No, here's the
Productivity.
thing. I don't
tablet.
I don't like stock Android on a tablet. I think I don't think it's properly optimized. I think that's why I've been using Samsung devices for the last 2 years as tablets.
In the tablet form.
In the tablet form, because they just are. They feel better optimized. It's.
Just can't get it out.
Yeah, I know. It's like you're afraid. You're afraid when you try
exactly.
and remove
It
it.
feels like-
So this is the other keyboard. I ended up with both. Long
I
story.
haven't
but
tried that
basically,
keyboard.
Yeah, so this also has a magnet to snap it in there. And then when so this is the Folio keyboard. And then there's a little magnet down at the bottom there.
Isn't that made by Logitech?
Lots of magnets.
I don't know, actually.
I believe.
There we go.
it
Lots of
is.
magnets.
I'm
So
thinking
you
of
can
the iPad
flap
Pro
that
one.
open, and that'll make it lay down a little bit further. Keyboard action, I feel like it's pretty good. The problem with this style of keyboard for me is that it's just small. And I don't know if it's small because of my hands require a larger keyboard, or if it's small because it's narrower and you don't get the extra stuff, or what it is. But I feel so cramped.
I was just
when
gonna say,
typing on a
wasn't the whole
keyboard
thing
like
about this keyboard that it was the actual size of a laptop keyboard? But that's the Microsoft one, wasn't it? Microsoft did that. So
Also, sorry, I misspoke. It's a Tegra X1.
okay.
I don't know why I
Thank you for the correction.
I keep mixing it up in my mind for some reason.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's still really early on for me, but.
You're clearly having a wonderful time driving the show with it.
I'm doing. I mean, once we got started, I feel like things were going
let's be
okay.
honest.
It's just-
Using Google Sheets with a tablet is difficult.
And I
It's
think
hard.
that's the core of the issue that I have, that I feared going into the Pixel C, and that I'm hoping eases up as I use it more, but I think it probably won't, which is just that I don't feel in my core that Android is a perfect productivity platform as it's designed right now.
Yes.
Not to say that it can't be, but and the common complaint is the multi-screen support is not there, right? So you're locked into a single screen all the time, and when you're jumping around from app to app, I mean, it does it differently than what you're used to if you're using a laptop or Chrome OS or whatever. And so yes, that takes adjustment. That takes you learning how to do it within Android. I just don't feel like it's the most productive way of doing it. It seems like it slows things down as opposed to making you more productive, and that's what you want when you've got a keyboard attachment. Not having a trackpad, I get why it's not there. I still want it. If I've got a keyboard attachment, I really want that, because
Android
sometimes
still
it's just
supports
easier to do that.
You still have a little mouse cursor on there,
So I don't know. I don't know where my complaints fall on this, but
it's early.
I think you need a little bit more time with it. But
I definitely do.
I
I
feel
got it
like
last
you and I
night.
will have the same opinion on it, which is that stock Android is not properly optimized for the tablet.
Yeah, no,
interface.
that's kind of how I feel right now.
It needs to be drastically overdone for me to be convinced that I should be using it. As
See, so what
productivity
needs to be
software.
overdone though? Is it just the UI or
Yeah,
is
it's
it
the
or,
UI.
Yeah. I mean, because that's the thing is that I mean, the way I look at it, the operating system is the operating system.
Yes.
Right. And then you're going to deploy it on different devices, and it's got to work. I would rather have continuity of the way it works than differences based on the devices.
That's a good point.
No, it's a thing like, for instance, the notifications panel, when you bring this down, it's just this little part of the screen, which is stupid. Because look, do you see where you were putting your finger? It didn't like bring it down. On the Samsung tablets, one swipe from the top brings the whole notification shade down. That's the way it should work. Like, it shouldn't just be one little part of the screen.
Right. That's fair.
When I
that's
think
fair.
of Android on tablets, the notification panel is pretty small potatoes for me. I mean, I just think it's very easy to look at what Apple have started to do on the iPad. Like, you can watch a video and minimize it. For me, that would be a really big thing for productivity on a tablet.
Samsung was doing that first, though. Just FYI, just have to say that.
Well, yeah, no, but-
Yeah. Well, you mentioned iPad, so I just wanted to jump in there and say, like, Samsung is. I don't normally talk this positively about Samsung,
I was gonna
but
say,
I
wow,
really
you're real.
no, but I really like what they've done with the tablet
Some
interface, and
brand
like
affinity.
TouchWiz is still awful to look at. I'm just saying that. Sorry, it's the truth.
no,
but
That's fair.
they made it work for the
But on the
tablet.
notifications tip, like on my Nexus 9, like I actually have it set to do not disturb permanently, and I turn off all notifications on the apps. I don't want notifications on the tablet. You know, the way I use it, at least. You know, like phone for notifications, that's great, but on the tablet, I actually they're an interruption and an annoyance.
Yeah,
and a
absolutely.
nuisance, you know, so. I don't know. I agree with you that I think there's still's got to be a lot of work, but I think that and making the operating system work as it in the most optimal way for the device and for the use is important. But I don't want to see it's a balance between this is how the operating system works and this is how it works, you know, with fragmentation. You know,
I think there's a way you could do it without being fragmented, though.
Okay.
Like, there has to be, because if Apple's doing it with the iPad, then Google's got to start doing it with an Android.
Yeah.
So how about a little short story about potentially the history of this?
Sure.
Ron Amadio went digging. Ron Amadio, of course, of Ars Technica, frequent guest on this show, went digging around with the Pixel C. The build prop file found a number of mentions of a product named Ryu. In 2014, Ryu actually appeared in the Chrome OS open source repository, described as having a light bar, USB Type-C connectors, NVIDIA Tegra system on chip, and wireless charging. Wireless charging in this case describes how the keyboard is actually charged via the tablet's battery when it's closed up. Not only that, we heard and saw bits and pieces last year that were hinting at a tablet version of Chrome OS dubbed Project Athena. Then there were commits that hinted at a 2-in-1 version of the Pixel that would dual boot between Android and Chrome. Ultimately, that was abandoned in July 2015. Wow. So then, if that was the case and that's tied to this device, you can kind of see the Google team being like, all right, well, we got this hardware. We're not doing the 2-in-1 thing.
Yeah.
Android, stat.
Yeah, that's the thing is that then
it makes more sense. Then you're like, okay, the hardware, like if I think of this hardware in the world of Chrome OS, which I've grown to really love, enjoy Chrome OS, and Chrome OS had a viable tablet interface, this would actually be a pretty compelling device. In the way it is right now, it wouldn't have a trackpad, and that would bum me out. But so maybe I don't know if there would be a way around that. But yeah, I could see this as being more compelling in that regard.
Totally.
As an Android tablet, I don't know. Jury's still out for me, but that's kind of where I'm at right now.
But you're not going to explain that history to every person who's going to buy a Pixel C.
No,
and actually, you need to read the novella when you get
the little novella
that.
that comes inside. It's not an instruction manual; it's a novella.
No, but if a lot of people
Starring
buy
Russell
this
Crowe.
and they're disappointed for the same reasons, that actually explains why they might be disappointed, because it was never designed to do this.
So then, what the heck is the reason it exists?
Because they paid all the money to develop the hardware.
I know, right?
That's
They're
what
like,
it
we
is.
put a bunch of money.
They put a bunch of money to develop the hardware, and they.
It's like when you buy a Ferrari and you realize that, like,
you can't take it to Whole Foods. Well, I guess you could take it to Whole Foods.
Or like an old Ferrari, right? And you buy it and you realize you bought it from some dude who treated it like crap, and it's a terrible car.
So yeah,
can't
you've got a
return it.
Ferrari, but it's been
It's
treated
like an
like
80s
crap.
Ferrari.
Chris, what do you think?
that
Are you
metaphor holds up.
intrigued by the Pixel C? Do you think it delivers on whatever its promise happens to be? What is its promise, actually? That's a really great question. I don't know how you feel about
Well,
it.
didn't Sundar say at at the keynote that the point of Pixel devices is to make aspirational devices.
Of Pixel devices, to make aspirational devices for the Pixel or for Chrome OS brand, or what was that?
Yes, I think that's what the Chromebook Pixel was, and now the Pixel C.
Yep. So so Sundar at the announcement said the Pixel team, quote unquote, builds aspirational devices.
Okay.
So there it is. Yep. Okay. Sorry to interrupt
that,
but
yep.
Yeah. So, but I mean, to answer your question, no. Like, I'm not the least bit enthused about a Pixel C. I don't mind my Nexus 9. I definitely like the 4:3 aspect ratio, and I think the size is pretty decent, but it's so slow to use. Like, it still just drives me nuts that I can't press home and be taken home instantly. It's fine for a device to just load up on Play Movies and that sort of stuff when I've got a long Australia to Los Angeles flight or something like that. But I don't use it too much. And going to what Florence was sort of mentioning before, I think stock Android is best suited on a 7-inch tablet these days at the moment. So I still really like the Nexus 7 2013. But sorry, I'm on a bit of a tangent there. But no,
we all missed the Nexus 7. It's okay. I'm there with you. Let's start a support group.
but it's still good now. In fairness, but no, there's nothing that appeals to me. Like I couldn't do my work on it. There's just nothing there for me.
Purely for like reading and watching like Hulu in bed. That's what the smaller tablets are for.
Only Hulu in bed, though.
I feel like
no Netflix, just Hulu.
No
YouTube.
No, Netflix is for the TV. No, but I still
for
think
that Samsung tablet that Brady had last week.
Yeah, 17-inch, whatever.
I don't know. I still think we're figuring out bigger tablet sizes. I don't think Apple has it either. Like, I think this is just because what happened is we went from like small laptops, and then they were like, let's make tablets, and then something got lost in the translation between the laptop and the tablet. And I think, but the thing is, the tablet doesn't get a lot of focus from most companies. It's not like companies like, we're going to make a tablet computer.
Well, because there still hasn't been. I mean, aside from either the Kindle or Kindle app or video apps and maybe some games, but there's no like, I need my tablet to do this.
You need your
that's a
phone
software
and you need your
problem.
Right, and that's a software
That's a
problem.
software problem, and that's a big complaint about Android and tablets.
Tablet's a companion.
The tablet is a companion. It can do a lot of the things I can do with other devices.
Yeah.
Because this is really great hardware.
Oh, yeah, it is.
From a
It's very
hardware
nice.
perspective, this is a great tablet. It looks well. It looks great. It's built solidly. It's pretty. The screen is excellent. I mean, it's a common complaint, but it's a software problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
You still have this in a dock and you load up Instagram, it's going to appear sideways. Yes, you can blame the developer.
That's Instagram.
I get it.
Yeah.
But yes, the fault on that lies in the developer. Oh, is it on the same thing?
Yeah. Instagram,
why would they do that?
No, Instagram is they're bizarre. I don't understand. Like, I want to go down to Palo Alto and shake them and be like, why not just make a tablet optimized? I mean, MG Siegler too has written like numerous articles like complaining about that.
Like, no.
Where it's like they just stay phone optimized, and on iPads and on tablets it's stupid. It's just stupid.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. It is a software problem, and
but still, the perception of the general basic user that buys something like this, which I don't think just general basic users buy this.
Yeah.
No, my mom bought an
only
iPad
enthusiasts
mini.
buy this at this point.
Yeah.
But those people will get something like this and wonder why everything looks weird. And even though the fault lies in the developer's hands, that's a software platform issue. Something needs to be done to incentivize the developers to do that. We've got a developer on the line. Do you feel? I mean,
yes. What do you need to be incentivized?
yes.
How much money do you want?
What's it going to take, Chris? How can we incentivize?
Can you solve the tablet problem, Chris?
Well, I actually did wonder if Google might do something to encourage developers to do more on the tablet side, because at the moment with all Play Store, purchases and that sort of stuff, it's very well known that the developer gets 70 and Google takes 30. But my understanding is that of Google's 30, 15 goes to Google, 15 goes to the carrier, and so Verizon, Telstra, whoever. There generally isn't that person to share it with on a tablet. So there was a part of me that wondered if Google said something like, oh, well, what if we just we give developers 80% for tablet purchases or something like that. Maybe that might encourage people to develop more on.
So it's money you want.
But I mean, that's not going to.
Money does make the world go round.
It does.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's no issue for me because my app sort of supports tablets, and
it does.
So it's not something that I particularly have to worry about because that support came from Google's Launcher 3 code, which I used it as a base. But it is it's very easy to say your app should support tablets, but it's a big challenge to do that meaningfully. And yeah, I don't know. There's probably reasons why that's not feasible, but I think another part of it, comes into market share, and I don't think there's massive market share for Android tablets out in the wild.
That's true.
Chicken and egg.
But I'm very curious what Apple does to incentivize iOS developers versus for iPad.
But I think Apple still has the same problem. I think people buy iPads because they think they should buy them. They're not because it's solving a problem.
Yeah.
I think no.
But because they do,
right?
Developers are incentivized to actually have something that works and looks good on.
But I wouldn't say the iPad is a success by any metric. I mean, yes, it sold a lot and all that sort of stuff, but it still is this redheaded stepchild in terms of where it fits in the productivity. You ask any iOS user who has an iPad what they do with it. I watch Netflix and I read Kindle. It's the same answer.
Right.
It's
very good point.
So it's not like there's some great software solution that is on iOS that we don't have on Android.
Yeah.
I think the tablet as a category is troubled in that it is a solution without a problem.
Yeah.
So it's a cool thing that we can fit a display that's touch sensitive and it's great. And now we can make one that looks like the Wall Street Journal and it's so wide and great. Who cares? I'm still doing the same thing. So
yep.
We should do a check-in with you in the new year.
Yeah.
And see.
I think you should only use this for the next month and a half.
Don't do that. You'll probably kill yourself.
Dude, I just don't even know if I can do it. I mean, I'm not saying I couldn't do it, absolutely, but that's, oh man.
Yeah.
The problem is if I did that and it slowed me down even a quarter of what you know what I mean? I can't.
Jason, why aren't you making your metrics?
I can't
of the
slow
Pixel
down.
C.
Yep.
I got too much stuff to do.
Isn't
I can't
that the
slow
productivity tablet? Shouldn't you be more productive? All right, so let's move on.
Yeah.
Flo, what do you got about the Droid Turbo 2?
I reviewed it last week.
All right,
I reviewed Motorola's Droid Turbo 2.
All right, next story.
All right, excellent.
Really quick, I reviewed it. I think it's a great phone. Same score as the Moto X Pure Edition. The only way better battery life than the Moto X Pure Edition because it has a much bigger battery. It's a very powerful little phone. Great. It's supposed to be shatterproof. The screen.
So supposed to be, or is...
Yeah. So I haven't. Well, I read Android Central's review, and they managed to shatter the screen. But I tried throwing it at the fence and throwing it at the tree and trying to break it, and nothing happened to the screen. But obviously, the rest of the chassis got all
it gets all dinged up.
So sorry, Motorola, but you sent me a phone to throw it around, and I did.
I think Motorola knew you were going to do that.
We should have gotten a horse.
Yep.
Get a horse.
Yeah, I was actually thinking of running over with my car, but I just
or a parade. You could get a parade and just have everybody.
I still feel
that's
weird
a good
about
idea.
phones.
Every time we need to review a phone, we should organize a parade. We'll shut down Market Street and we'll have a parade, and we'll make sure
we should do that.
That's a great idea.
Protest.
The weekly flow. Well, that's not the weekly flow parade. Anyway, go on.
Yay, a weekly parade for me. The one issue with the Droid Turbo 2, however, is riddled with awful Verizon bloatware.
Verizon.
And the logo on the front, right?
The freaking logo. It's the old logo. It's not even the new one.
Right,
Verizon, you have
it
to
is.
stop putting all this crap on phones. It's not okay. I keep tweeting you. I'm a paying customer.
Jeez, I'm sure they love that.
I'm a paying customer.
Sure, there's some 23-year-old social media associate who's like, that Flo woman again is going crazy about our logo and our bloatware.
No, it makes me so angry. It really needs to stop. AT&T is just as bad about it. Sprint is just as bad about it.
Whenever I see somebody do that, lose it on a brand, or myself lose it on a brand. I try to think of at the receiving end, and we hope that it's like, like when you angrily tweet at Google, you hope Sundar's reading it or whatever. But
He's like, what?
It's literally
Who's doing this
It's
to
literally
Android?
a coordinator who is like 2 years out of school,
Feet up on the table, like, delete.
watching Dragon Ball Z and laughing at your tweets.
Dragon Ball Z?
Millennials.
Probably true. You should know this, Flo.
Dragon Ball Z was last gen. Anyway, regardless. No, I don't like Verizon Navigator or anything.
Yeah.
Messages Plus. What,
Too much bloat. Okay.
It's so red.
So
Bloat rears its ugly
moving
head.
on, there was a neat event in New York City held by Google, the Nexus Open Studio event, and actually a user on Reddit by the name of Silockheed.
Real name.
Surely his given name, Silockheed.
Everybody on Reddit uses their real name.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
a thing. Yeah.
Silockheed says he posted his experience at the Nexus Open Studio event, and it was pretty cool. They had onstage discussions and direct talks with people there, and some interesting information and about how the Nexus devices come to be, and we all love a good Nexus story. And so some of the highlights from it were that the Nexus 5X and the 6P took only 7 months to design and develop, compared to the usual 2 years of previous devices. One of the designers revealed that sometimes seemingly simple changes, like centering the USB-C connector, can and did take 3 months or more to achieve.
Just that.
Just
That's
that.
interesting.
Which I believe, because when you're working at that level of detail and...
You got to move all the components.
Exactly. Motorola had a tight grip on the design of the Nexus 6, which is why it, unlike other Nexus devices, looks so closely like Motorola's lineup of devices and not like a traditional Nexus device. And the team was very open to the problems of the Nexus 6, like the size and how easily it spins when you try to use it on a table.
Which, oh man, yes.
The spin
That happened to me a
problems,
couple
Sits
times,
in
and then at a
rocks.
certain point, it was just kind of fun to spin it.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
just had a good time spinning the Nexus.
And
6.
that's
made it
actually...
useless as a development device as well.
Oh,
I've
was
got it sat here, and I just couldn't use it as a development device.
Oh, wow.
I couldn't hold it because it was too big and couldn't use it as a development
Ouch.
device.
which is kind of what
should've
it's
sold it.
designed for.
Yeah, exactly. But so when we speculate, I'm going to borrow your Nexus 6P
Go
for a
for
sec.
it.
But when the little lip on the back of the bulge by the camera, that's one of the lessons that came out of learning that keeps the Nexus 6 from spinning.
Stable on the table.
That design, yeah,
Stable on the
exactly.
table.
Stable on the table. And finally, Sony was worried about the sales volume potential of the devices, and therefore it took some convincing for Sony to give Google access to the excellent camera that the phones have. However, that particular module doesn't offer iOS. I'm sorry. What is it? What is the
OIS.
OIS, yeah.
Optical image
The note
stabilization.
says iOS.
Oops.
OIS. Hence, no OIS in the new Nexus devices. So it looks like there was some back and forth on the camera, but they fought the good fight and got the good Sony.
What's interesting is, why didn't they just say that when they were criticized in the beginning about OIS? Like, because
there's
the
the
camera
PRs.
module that we got.
Yeah, you got to check with your peeps,
Yeah,
your
I
PR
guess
peeps.
so,
You can't just
but-
run your mouth off.
Right.
Yeah.
There's the PR story, and then there's the real story. And it's
And apparently,
interesting
2
that
months later, you get the real story.
Yeah, exactly. On Reddit of no places. So
It feels like Google's trying to be a little more transparent with the new wave of Android. Like, we have Hiroshi tweeting us, and we have all these
All
like
the time.
Reddit, like, well, not us, but he's tweeting, and
He did tweet that one time.
it's awesome,
Yeah,
and
it is.
we see stuff like this on Reddit where people are going to parties and learning things. So I think it's great. Like, I love having,
transparency.
Although please don't put me out of a job because
Oh, Jesus. now this has become a plea
Same.
from Flo to keep her job.
don't be too transparent.
Yeah, she'll yell at you
I
on
need to
Twitter.
give,
so watch it,
people
Hiroshi.
something.
So, Chris, I know you read through this as well. What were there any things that stood out to you, kind of reading through this?
I think the two main things were the first comment that they spent about 7 months developing it, which
seems
is
like nothing.
basically what I've always suspected has been the case with Nexus devices. I don't know, I could be entirely wrong, but there isn't a part of me that feels like these devices have now finished, so they are just full steam head down working on next year's Nexus devices. Although I could conceivably see them doing that in this case. Like if they just, I think it would not be at all surprising to see a 5P next year, possibly made by Huawei. Like it would, Huawei, it would, as someone who really likes the 6B, gosh, I'd be pretty excited at the idea of them having a year to spend on that. But anyway, I digress. So yeah, the 7-month timeline thing, that was kind of a confirmation, if you will, assuming it's true, that what I've always suspected, that these devices come together pretty quickly. And also the comment in there that Motorola weren't supposed to do the 6P last night. There was someone else that backed out at the last minute. I thought that was pretty noteworthy.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like those business development discussions and, kind of deals with the hardware manufacturers probably reach a point of being touch and go, and you think you have a deal, but then something gets hung up and someone's got to step up, and, and there's probably somebody who wants in, like I'm sure Huawei, I can't even say it. Huawei would just jump at the opportunity to do it, whereas, somebody like Motorola probably with the past experience or whomever they're working with.
Motorola was like, yeah,
not again.
We'll do your Nexus.
Yeah.
Well,
sure.
Huawei also really
we're part of
wants
you right
to come
now.
Yeah.
Because they were part of Google probably with that.
Yeah. I mean, Huawei really wants to be part of the
No.
U.S.
Well,
market,
Huawei has
and
a lot to gain from
this is a great thing for them. And
Well,
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that's interesting insight. And you can also get interesting insights thanks to our next sponsor. We want to thank lynda.com for sponsoring this episode of All About Android, because lynda.com is for problem solvers, for the curious, for people who want to make things happen, just like you and me. Maybe you want to learn how to, and Jason, maybe you want to learn how to develop an app, or you want to master Google Sheets like Jason's trying to do today, or you can sharpen your SEO skills. Lynda.com has everything you need to feed your curious mind. If you're interested in photography and image editing, check out new courses like Photoshop's CC Creative Cloud Essential Training, and series like Photo Tools Weekly. Burt Monroy, who's amazing, Burt Monroy's Pixel Playground, and the DIY Photographer, which teaches you low-cost tricks and techniques to improve your photos. And I love lynda.com because it helps me learn things like when I'm trying to figure out the new version of Adobe Premiere when I need to edit a video, and I learned how to use Premiere back in version 6.5, and now I've got this new fancy Creative Cloud, and how do I figure out how to make a cut? I go to lynda.com. I can quickly find out how to do it. There's so much information on lynda.com. It is the best. When you sign up for a lynda.com membership, you can watch and learn from top experts who are passionate about teaching. You can stream thousands of video courses on demand and learn at your own schedule. Courses are structured so that you can watch them from start to finish, or you can consume them in bite-sized pieces. You can browse each course transcript to follow along, or search for an answer and skip right to that point. Take notes as you go and refer to them later. And of course, you can download tutorials and watch them on the go, including access on your Android device. You can create and save playlists of courses you want to watch to customize your learning path or share with friends, colleagues, or team members. So your lynda.com membership gives you unlimited access to training on hundreds of topics, all for one flat rate. Whether you're looking to become an expert, you're passionate about a hobby, or you just want to learn something new, I want you to visit lynda.com/allaboutandroid and sign up for your free 10-day trial. That's lynda.com/allaboutandroid. And as always, we thank them for their support. And listen, we're settling down for the holidays. You're going to have a nice little break between Christmas and New Year's. The perfect time to sign up for lynda.com and learn how to program an Android app, how to do something else.
It's time for you to get smart.
Yeah, exactly.
Finally.
Go for it. Finally. Live up to your potential. That's all.
Yes,
That's
all we're saying. Come
your
on.
mother wants for you to live up to your potential. Lynda.com helps you get there. And thank you for your support of the show.
Thank you, Lynda. All right, let's check out some app news. Okay. You guys using Google Now on tap very much?
Actually, I haven't, to be honest with you.
Yeah. No? No?
9.
I use it occasionally, but for me it's got a couple of problems. One is that it doesn't work often, and anytime you have a feature like that doesn't work, you're just like, yeah, I won't even bother trying. And the other is I feel like the way it's engaged could be improved, because I miss being able to quickly jump to Google search. So I kind of wish there was some sort of mechanism where it could do Now on tap when I wanted and jump straight to Google search when I wanted. And I'm sure there's something there. It's not something I've given a great deal of thought about, but yeah, it's I don't feel like it's sort of changed the way I use my device or anything like that at this point.
Yeah, I kind of forget that it's there, to be honest. But it has some interesting features kind of hitting right now. A new feature, the latest Google Search app update, pops up a share button. I might actually be able to demonstrate this. Let's see here. So you get a little share button down at the bottom. And when you do that, it actually allows you to send a screenshot minus the navigation and the status bar up at the top. So it's just another way to share a screenshot if you want to do that. Kind of an isolated incident, but it also doesn't save that to your device, which I've noticed when I do a screenshot, that it ends up in my camera roll.
Yes.
And then it ends up getting uploaded to Google Photos and intermixed with all of my, like family photos or things that I actually care about. I'm like, I don't need to hold on to this screenshot for the rest of my life. It's okay. And then soon there will be package tracking and flight status as part of Now on Tap, things that Google Now kind of does already.
Why do you need apps anymore?
But if you're, looking at a text message and it has, a flight number, then you could do it and it would show you all the information without leaving the Now on Tap interface. Also related news items when you're reading a news story. So if you're reading something and you want to find more news postings about that particular topic, you can do it and it'll pull up a bunch of related links that you can follow through. And then finally, language support. Of course, French, German, Spanish, Italian, Russian, and Korean. So it's getting better. I think people just need to, I know for myself, I just need to remember to use it.
That's exactly the thing.
Well, you have to hold it down.
I'm waiting for the moment where it's an aha, where yes, and then I'll always use it. So I just need to remember to use it. So cool stuff. So another update, another promised update on Google Photos. Today they've rolled out shared albums, which is a feature that they promised back at Google I/O, I believe, right? Or back in the summer. This allows you to invite people to a photo album and set whether they can contribute to the album or just simply view the album. Invitees will be notified when new items are added to the shared album. So it's a very, very cool function that will make sharing photos a lot easier and a lot more collaborative and fun. So nice to see Google Photos add that, as well as the Google Photos powerhouse gets even more stronger. Even more stronger. Good English.
Even stronger more.
Even stronger more. Flo, tell us about Inbox.
And another piece of news from Google today. I had my own transition wrong. Thanks. Now Inbox is basically going to give TripIt a run for its money because you can use Inbox by Gmail to check all of your travel information right from inside the app. It's great. It's awesome. It's really easy to use. I actually was using it the other day, and it brought up all the emails, even the little email correspondence I was having with my in-laws about what we're going to be doing in Vegas.
All tied to the single bundle?
Underneath, yeah. And it was great. Like, it's awesome.
Cool.
Nice. I use Inbox, but I don't think I use it the way
you should.
I'm supposed to.
It's pretty amazing.
The biggest.
Yeah, I know that it's capable of so much more, but I don't delay a message until another time to get it out of my inbox. I don't work in inbox 0, which I should, because it gives you a nice, pretty graphic that rewards you.
Well, I haven't had inbox 0 since like 97.
I feel bad for you guys.
Yeah,
but the biggest problem with Inbox, and we're going to talk about this a little later in the arena, because email is that's my sweet spot of apps. I would, with the shutdown of Mailbox, as I'm looking for a new solution, I would love to commit to Inbox, but Inbox does not support multiple accounts yet. Yeah. So I only want to look in one spot for all my email of all my 90 email accounts, and I can't do that with Inbox yet. So I have to have different instances of Inbox go.
Ron, your apps keep dying this year.
I know, they really do.
I feel like you should have
really
like a in memoriam.
So
all the apps.
So it's a rough year.
It's
a rough year for sunsetting apps.
I think she needs a hug.
By the end. So Chris, you use Inbox, but not to its full potential. Why? I'm trying to ask myself this question, actually. Why do you use Inbox if that's the case? Like, are you using it just like you would the Gmail app? It's just, it looks different? That's how I feel like I use it.
The main reason I use it is it handles the notifications really well, with only giving me notifications for, very few emails. Most of them just get bundled in the...
oh, that's true.
What is it? The lower priority email or something like that, which I think Gmail itself actually does. So it's possible my usage could largely be done in the Gmail app, but yeah, I don't know. I could possibly switch out, but I just kind of like it. And occasionally I do snooze things, but not well enough.
Yeah,
I've got an email from my accountant here. In theory, I wanted to reply to that next week, but I just have left it unread. So
yes, unread and just staring at you, reminding you as it stares at you just how you need to reply to them. No, that's exactly what I do, and I need to learn how to. It's just like Google Now on Tap. Actually, I need to use it. I need to remember to use it the way it's supposed to be used. not bad at that.
I would like to amend my observation is that the Inbox app does support multiple accounts, just not in one unified inbox. That's all.
Oh, I see.
Which is a subtle
So you can
distinction.
switch
So you can
between.
switch accounts, but you can't have one unified inbox, which is what I want.
Does Gmail support that? I don't think it does, right?
No, but I don't use Gmail.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't use the Gmail. Gmail, it functions the same way Gmail does, where you can switch them between apps. Switch between
not
accounts.
unified.
I just want an app that collapses them all into one inbox. So anyway, moving on.
Shall we move on to an email?
Yes, we shall.
We have an email. From
Alrighty.
All right,
from Bill.
Flo's first email.
First time I did an email, so I was expecting to mess that up, and I did, but it's okay. So today we have an email from Bill. Hi, Jason, Ron, and Flo. I enjoy All About Android. I have been watching the show for a month now, and I need your help. I will be getting my first Android device in April. My question is, I have a Mac. I will be going from iPhone to a Samsung Android phone. What is the best to-do list reminders app that will work with both my Mac and the Samsung phone? I will be getting what I want to be able to do.
I just realized there's no punctuation in this email.
There's none. It's like a Jack Kerouac novel. I love it.
Actually, no.
Today's first Flo's first
You
email,
got, like,
no punctuation.
the hardest email ever. I think we got the gist of it, though, which is really like what's the best to-do list that can
Let
be
me
shared,
read the
right?
conclusion.
Okay,
I just want to pay one time for the app, not every month or every year. You all have a great show, and Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
Wait, it's
Merry
from
Christmas, Happy
Bill.
Holidays.
From
Do
Bill.
we know if this is William Burroughs or not? Is he alive? I think he's
It's
dead.
a good question.
Is William S. Burroughs dead? I think he is. Anyway, go on.
Yes,
So,
he's playing a joke.
I'm the only person who got that, by the way. So
No,
he died.
I got it. It just wasn't very
And also,
good.
William, he died 1997. So there you go.
Thank you. Deserved,
Thank you,
think.
Brian.
Bill, if you really want, try Google Keep. I use it on my Mac and on all of my phones. It's great. There's a widget that just displays nicely on the phone, and it's kind of a pain in the butt because you have to go to Google Keep on your browser to get all that stuff sort of situated and make your checklists and all that. But I really like it. I can set reminders from my Android phone. I can just tell it to remind me of something, and I'll do it on Google Keep. So try that for a little bit, and then if that doesn't really work for you, go for one of the bigger ones like Wunderlist or Todoist, as you mentioned.
Do we need
Try and see what you like.
All right. Let's see here. Yeah, I think Keep's the obvious choice
Keep is the obvious choice.
as far as that's concerned.
You can put pictures in there.
I love Google Keep.
Cool.
Before we move on, Chris, I do know that you are not joining us for the arena today, and that is okay. It's all right. We would love.
I've just been so head down and buried trying to finish my Action Launcher update. I have not. There's no part of me that's had any time to install new apps or anything like that. So my suggestion for the App Arena is the Action Launcher update that none of you can use today.
So it's like a ticket into the future, basically. Check back, and you will understand what Chris is talking about. Chris, it's always a pleasure getting you on the show. You can be found on Twitter. Well, you're at Chris M. Lacey on Twitter, right?
Yep.
And where else can people follow, like the blurg and all the other stuff that you're doing?
Yeah, if you want to hear more of my rambling, my podcast is I think I'm up to 19 episodes or something like that. I've had a variety of topics, sort of some news related, like after Google I/O and that sort of stuff, but then more deep dive reviews of the Nexus 6 or a discussion on the state of Android manufacturers and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, check out my podcast, theblurg.net/podcast.
Excellent. Do check it out.
And keep it up.
Yeah,
The
well,
podcasting.
I think it's funny. The podcast bug bites.
It does.
And it's difficult to ignore at that point. And then, hey, what do you know? You have a podcast of your own.
I'm literally going to finish this podcast and drive home and then edit another one for 2 or 3 hours tonight. So
Sometimes it bites you in the ass.
Yes, exactly. So the things we do.
That's what that all-
But
that
good
is
job,
all
Chris.
about.
I'm glad you're podcasting. That's good. One of us.
Yeah,
So.
all of us. Chris, thank you so much. Have a wonderful afternoon, because it is kind of afternoon for you, and get some lunch.
Enjoy Star Wars, dude.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't spoil it.
Yep.
Yep.
I don't. There'll be no spoilers from me. Don't
Enjoy
worry.
the future.
All right, take care,
Thanks for
Chris.
having me.
Absolutely, anytime. We'll have you back soon.
Yes, bye.
All right, bye. Before we get into the arena, let's thank the final sponsor of today's episode, and that is Ring Video Doorbell. I've talked a lot about the Ring Video Doorbell on this show. I have one installed at my home. That's it. That's it right there. You walk up to my house, you see that planted on the wall. My kids walk up to my house, they see that planted on the wall, they hit it because sometimes Dad answers the Ring Video Doorbell. That's the cool thing about this, right? Somebody comes to your house, they push the button, the chime goes off, it syncs up with your smartphone if you're running the Ring app on your phone, on your device. They also have a Ring Chime, which is their own kind of bell that you can plug in inside. It connects via Wi-Fi, or it can connect to the bell that you already have installed in your phone. It just, you open it up. Install takes about 10 minutes. You can take the cables that are already there and just connect it right into the Ring Video Doorbell, and voila, it rings your actual bell that you already have. And once somebody presses that button and calls through, I get a notification on my phone that I can answer. I can see streaming live video of who happens to be there, so I can tell that, the UPS person to drop off the package, whatever. I can talk back and forth, and they can hear me. The audio comes through the Ring Video Doorbell, and so I can have a conversation with them, and that is the primary reason that my kids always hit that button, because they think it's hilarious. They live in a world where, yes, your doorbell talks to you, and that's a really cool thing.
They live in the future.
They live in the future. It has a built-in rechargeable battery. If you don't have the wiring and everything connected on your house, it has a rechargeable battery that'll last up to a year, depending on how you have it set. If you have motion detection on, that might cut that down a little bit. But that's another great thing that this does. The Ring Video Doorbell can be used for detecting motion. You can set the sensitivity of that, and once that is tripped, you'll get a notification, and you can check in and see and make sure that nothing bad is happening. This year, give the gift of peace of mind and convenience with the Video Doorbell that Time Magazine named one of their top 10 gadgets. Go to ring.com/allaboutandroid. You'll get free expedited FedEx shipping. That's ring.com/allaboutandroid. With Ring, you are always home. And we thank Ring for their continued support of All About Android and the Twit Network. Thank you, Ring. All right. Without further ado, it's time to battle in the arena.
So many enter, but only one lives. Android Arena.
All right.
Here's how I know that the Pixel C isn't going to work for me.
Why?
Because as I've used it throughout the show, I've just decided I'm not going to click links anymore. I'm like, well, then I'll just look at the dock. That's what I'm just going to do is just look at the dock. I'm like, no, I want a device that I want to do all these things. Right. Instead, I'm like paring back my usage.
Well, so as we step into the arena, we look at last week's results of last week's show. And our winner was Mr. Jason Howell with this win. That gives him 18 wins in the year. And Jason is our 2015 arena champion. He pulled it off. Good job.
I don't know how that happened.
Well done. Let's look at the results from last week if we can, Brian. We can see that Jason won with a strong showing by Adobe Photoshop Lightroom, which got 47% of the vote. I question whether or not the votes were just to help you win, or if people really like Photoshop Lightroom.
That's the thing; you'll never know their intentions.
You'll never know their intents. The people of India are mysterious. Ginger Keyboard came. I'm not done yet, Brian. Ginger Keyboard came in third with 21%, and
second.
Wall Rocks Wallpapers from Flo got 16%, and Amazon Alexa from Brady, our guest, got 16% as well. So our results through week 49 give Jason at 18 wins. I came in at 15, Flo at 5, and the guests at 11. So good job, my friend. You did it.
And Wade County in the chat says Jason is the 2015 arena champion.
Yep.
So this is
good job.
So this is bonus round now.
This is bonus. This is victory lap. This is icing on the cake.
You should just sit this one out.
Yeah, you could.
I don't know. I've got a pretty good app today.
I have it.
So, but that said, since Flo came in last week, she'll be leading off this week.
For rubbing it in.
There you go.
Didn't even give me a chance to cry in the corner.
All right, what you got?
All right, well, I sometimes can be obsessive compulsive when I'm focused, and I'm obsessively obsessive compulsive over my packing list when I travel for work. So I've got a big trip coming up for CES, and of course, I need to pack. So I downloaded this great little app that I'm going to get to in just a second because I have to scroll down. through here. Oh my gosh, where is it?
You have a lot of apps
Why can't
installed.
I find it? You know why? Because I've been doing all these app roundups for work.
Yeah. Oh, hey.
So,
Sure.
I hear you.
Sure it is. The app roundups, yeah.
Yeah. So let me adjust the brightness there. PackPoint, pretty awesome. You tell it where you're going, and it will retrieve the weather for you and then populate a list of what you should think about packing. It'll ask you, are you going for leisure? Are you going for business? And sort of make these little sections for you to make it easy for you to figure out what to pack in your luggage. It'll ask if you'll be able to wash your clothes while you're there, or if you're going to have to rewear basics and all these sorts of things. And so I found it to be very helpful in my packing endeavors. You can pay, I believe it's $2.99 to unlock the premium version, and it has TripIt integration, which is kind of neat. And you can customize your own packing templates. Again, very simple packing app.
Done.
That is it. I'm kind of giving up on app
Don't give
arena
up.
this year.
Never give up.
I just have given up.
All right, then.
Don't give up.
All right, well, thank you, Flo, for that. It's going to make my packing for the holidays that much easier.
I am not using a Chromebook Pixel in my lap, by the way.
You're not looking at the Chromebook
Yeah,
Pixel.
no, this is not happening right now.
So anyway,
Continue.
all right. So my turn. So actually, we were talking earlier about inbox from Google. Email is a topic that is near and dear to my heart. In fact, it's near and dear to many of your hearts, such as Carolyn, who wrote in, and she said, she asked me directly, Ron, I've been using the Mailbox app since you recommended it a while back. But now they're ending the app in 80 days, or actually, more accurately, she might have sent this a couple of days ago. But if you open the GD Mailbox app, they tell you at the top of the app, Mailbox will shut down in 72 days. It's so mean. Look what they do. They won't. See, look at this. Oh, I don't want to show you my email. But anyway.
You will die in 72 days.
Mailbox is shutting down, and it's breaking my heart, and it's breaking Carolyn's heart as well, too. I really like this app. Any suggestions for a replacement app? And Carolyn, you wrote it at the right time, because as I went into this arena, knowing that Mailbox was announced as shutting down because the evil people at Dropbox don't want to support it anymore, I now need a new a new email app. And what you want is, Mailbox was great in that it gives you that unified inbox. It gives you also greater control in the gesture-like app interface, where when you swiped on Mailbox, when you swiped right, it archived a email, or if you swiped and held, it would just delete the whole email, all this sort of stuff. So I was doing some looking. There's a whole bunch of different email clients that are out there, and for this week, I bring Boxer to the arena. Boxer is an email client that is, I believe, cross-platform, but we're looking at it here on Android. And we are looking at my personal email, but you're not looking at anything that is personal. But what's great is that when you open it up, you get it's very similar. Let me turn down my brightness there for you, Jason. I'm Brian. Jason's right there.
You can turn it down for me, too.
I can turn it down for you, too.
Appreciate it.
That's how much data I've used this month.
Dang, dude.
Yeah, I told you. See, unlimited tethering, unlimited data.
God, rub it in.
So, all right. So here we are with the email client. All my emails are here in a very similar to Mailbox interface. Hitting the pencil button, you can start composing an email, very standard, right? You can change what that SIG says. You can add in, you can send it in, turn it into an invite. You can insert a quick response. You can edit these quick responses and add in little, whether it's thanks or I'll get back to you or whatnot, to make it really easy. And you can also easily add attachments, which is nice. But then what actually makes Boxer almost better than Mailbox is that it has that same similar swiping capability. So if you swipe to the left, you archive the email, right? So if you're using a Gmail account or whatnot, it will archive it. But if you swipe to the right, Boxer lets you choose what actions to associate with the swipe to the right. So if I want to like it, I don't want to like email, but you can delete, you can archive, you can mark it as read, you can move it, you can turn it into a to-do, you can mark it as spam, do a quick response, or add it to Evernote, or star it. And it shows by here, the swiping and these actions shows you there's an opportunity to add even more actions with different integrations. That's one thing I thought was great. Mailbox, the swipe to right was an automatic archive, but maybe I don't archive emails. Maybe I want to delete them, or maybe I want that to be just marked as read. So it gives you added control over what you're doing. Hitting the hamburger menu gives you a nice little menu where you can go through your inbox. You can see what's starred, what's been unread, what's in your to-do list, all that sort of stuff. Now, the only downfall here is that it is free in the Google Play Store, and that gives you access to one account. And Boxer does support multiple accounts, but the problem being is that in order to do that, you need to unlock the Pro version, and the Pro version is $9.99. That said, though, it is an extremely powerful application, and you think about $10 over the life of how often you use email, it's actually kind of a deal. And you want to support developers who are making good apps, so I strongly recommend you chipping in and paying the in-app purchase. Doing that will allow you to add multiple accounts. So if you've got multiple Gmail accounts, if you've got it supports Gmail, Yahoo, Exchange, all this stuff. It even supports IMAP and POP3. So if you're like me with an ancient email account from 1995 and a POP3 account, you can use it. So and it also supports iCloud, which is interesting on the Android platform as well too if you're using an Apple account. So Boxer email, it's a great application, really, really strong. The guys behind it are putting a lot of time and effort into it, and it really shows in the in using the app. And honestly, I think at this point I'm just going to switch straight to Boxer and use it here on out. As opposed to Mailbox. It's tablet optimized as well too. If you install it on your tablet, you can see, Brian, if you scroll through the screenshots on the Google Play Store, you can see the tablet version as well as Android Wear optimized, so you can get cool little notifications of your emails. So Boxer's really great. So I strongly recommend it. It's worth the $10 in-app purchase, but it's also worth the free download just to check it out, to try it before you decide to buy it. So there you go. So Carolyn, Boxer, that's my recommendation for you. Merry Christmas, or Happy Hanukkah, or Happy Kwanzaa. Happy holidays.
Just Happy New Year.
Happy holidays.
Yeah. Happy holidays.
Or just have a good day.
When I used
have a good day. Thank you so much.
When I used to in college, I worked at a record store. This is when we sold CDs and records. And at the holidays, I always get tripped up because I didn't want to say Merry Christmas. I didn't want, whatever. And so I would say Happy Holidays or whatever. But often I got caught where people would say to me, they say, "Oh, Merry Christmas," and I go, "Yeah, same to you." And then I turned to the next customer, and it came off a little more rude than I wanted it to be. So, yeah, same to you. So, anyway.
But it was very efficient.
Yeah, sure it was. Yeah. So,
excellent.
Jason, Mr. Winner here.
Well, we'll see about that.
Let's do a lap right now.
Victory lap. You don't even need. You don't even need to compete. You don't even need to.
But I want to. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I must show you my app this week. It's called Yap.
Just kidding. Sorry.
He always does that. Yap messaging by Intel, actually. But this is really cool. So, and there is no messaging that's part of this. They just removed messaging from the app. But personally, I don't think the messaging is the interesting thing about this app.
Wait,
all right.
what?
So I'm going to load it up. I'm going to load up Yap.
Yep.
All right. You can kind of see. Let's see here. There we go. Hi. How's it going?
Oh, that's weird.
No.
Oh, that's weird. No.
Yeah.
It's not good at all. It is creepy.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's so weird. Oh, it's so weird.
Let's see here. Let's see. How about Santa Claus? Ho, ho, ho.
Oh, that's cute. I like that.
A little better.
Okay, that's weird.
You can go. Oh. Hey. Let's see here. Abraham Lincoln.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're arena champion.
7 minutes
Wait, do
ago.
they have Sundar Pichai?
Our forefathers
that would be
embarked on a
awesome.
most excellent adventure.
I didn't even know that much of the speech.
Well, that's the speech from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure,
Oh.
not the actual.
It's also the speech from the Gettysburg Address.
Well, not most excellent adventure. If that's part of the Gettysburg Address, then
That's right. Yeah,
Abraham Lincoln was pretty hip, as you can see now.
It's awesome seeing a unicorn. You know what? We should just do a show with you as this.
Oh my God, this is so creepy.
And the thing is, Jason's face is really expressive too, and so it's catching all of his eyebrows.
Let's watch Jason
Okay,
do
so
this, by the way.
just
Brian, can you change the camera on Jason? Now, Jason, use the app like you normally do, just like you were.
Jason doesn't
Okay, I'm gonna
exist.
go.
It's the
I'm
app
gonna
only
go.
now.
Lydia. Why not? Oh wow, Lydia's a little risque. I gotta say.
Oh, wait.
Okay. Hi. How's it going? Oh, that's good. It really did. Whoa. How's it going?
What if you stick your tongue out?
Yeah,
there we go.
Yeah. Does it? No, it doesn't catch hands. Okay, so you can not only do this, but you can record it. So I can go, hi, my name's Lydia. How are you doing?
Jesus. This is awful.
Oh, it's really great though.
This is horrifying.
And then you can change their voice.
Oh no.
Let's see.
Let's see.
Okay, so I think maybe that was high. Okay, robot. Let's do robot here.
Oh, this will be interesting.
Okay.
It's weird.
All right, low. Lydia's got a really low voice.
Nope.
No, your voice is so high.
It sounds like Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs. Just play Goodbye Horses while you listen to that and you're all sad. Dude.
Oh man. Okay, now.
You're all missing
right. So
Ron
obviously
dancing.
you've got Barack, you've got ham sandwich. I think is that a sandwich? That might be a sandwich.
Is that a sandwich?
Is that a sandwich? Oh,
It's a burger.
I'm a burger. Don't you like my bun? All right. So
Good at this, Jason.
So the thing is, there's all of these that you can download. If that's not enough for you,
What about Oprah? Is there Oprah? Because let me tell you, if I could be Oprah,
This is fascinating.
Isn't it? Ronald Reagan.
Surprised he's not a goat.
Statue of Liberty. George.
Very patriotic. It's a very patriotic.
Well, sometimes you want to say 4 7 years ago.
There's the holidays.
You got your
alien
Santa
section.
Claus. You got your flying pig. When pigs fly. Sure. So I'll go ahead and download that. And
no Oprah, huh?
I didn't see Oprah.
That's some BS.
When pigs fly.
Okay, I want to know, what is that voice?
Isn't that awesome? I mean, seriously, this thing's great. There's all of these pre-recorded things, and you can add to it. But whatever, you're gonna find yourself spending hours. Okay, maybe not hours.
At least 5 minutes.
Many minutes.
At least as much time as we've spent.
Yeah.
Which is like,
It's fun. It's
4
called
minutes.
Yap messaging.
I just want to reiterate that you can specify what the action is when you swipe the email in my app. That's fun.
I just want to specify how I just want to say how important it is that you remain organized during your hacking endeavors.
This is so weird.
I just want to say,
Why did he talk?
yeah. See, you're being pulled into the app vortex.
So weird. No, I don't want to. I'm not gonna do it.
There we go.
You got to do that to somebody who's like really high on drugs.
That'd be a little weird.
No, I'm just.
Sure,
I think
sure.
it would be hilarious.
It probably would be.
Because I'm mean, but I think it's hilarious.
Good job, Jason. Congratulations.
Thank you. All right. I'll accept that. AAApoll.com/244 if you want to place your vote for your favorite app this week. Is it Boxer? Is
It's
it
Jason's.
Pack Point?
It's Jason's
Is it
app.
Yap messaging?
It's probably Jason's
Although there's no messaging.
And
in
actually,
it.
important note as well on the Boxer app, and give credit to JJ in the chat room, that Boxer does have a companion calendar app that you can use as well too if you're in productivity.
Ron's app has a companion app as well.
yeah,
So
so there
you're
you
really
go.
voting for 2 apps.
No, I'm just saying you got options. So
There we go.
it's a good arena. I'm not going out
Do you
without
get
a
2
fight.
points if you win?
I got a silver medal. I came in second.
Well, you know what?
Yeah.
First loser.
Yep. First loser.
Bronze
Wow.
is worth a lot on the black market. So
Well, this is your rookie year. This is your you're dipping your toe into the arena. January, that's when it
No,
starts.
I have big plans.
Oh,
I have
wow.
big
Hold on.
plans.
Yeah, hold on to your great apps.
Yeah.
Save them up.
All the
next
great
next
apps.
week will be like the worst arena ever. We'll be
I
like,
think
don't know,
next week
here's-
we have to do holiday themed apps.
I was gonna
Oh,
say we should.
Yes, they should be holiday
a
themed
themed
apps.
app?
Yes.
We haven't done a themed app arena in
Yes.
a
In
very
years.
long time,
Should.
Jason.
In years.
And we should do them more often.
Okay, we can let's
We
talk
can do
about
that.
For our birthdays.
Okay. What would the
Okay.
theme be for our
Well,
birthdays?
for you, it'd be like apps that remind you of Ron, and then like apps that remind you of Jason.
that's a more.
You know,
that's- I was thinking more like, I don't know, calendar apps or writing apps, but sure, apps that remind.
No, like for you, I would have like a really good productivity app and like a really good music app.
Oh, interesting.
I should note that I did not have the poll set up.
Because blame
eh.
the Pixel C.
When we entered
Yeah,
the
blame
arena,
Pixel C.
so I did have to use my Chromebook Pixel in
Well,
my lap
that's
in
why
order
you
to
were
create the
using
poll.
it.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I couldn't create the shortcut. So I'll have to create the shortcut. You probably, live viewers are probably trying to go there and it's not working. But if you go to the community page, All About Android community page, you'll see it. But now, no, you don't need to see that.
Do you not need it? You don't need it? I was trying to help there.
Yeah, it's
all right, fine.
I'm just pulling it up so that
all right,
I don't know why. Let's round this out because this has been another long episode, but a good episode of All About Android. Flo, what are you working on?
Tomorrow, my best devices of 2015 is coming out on greenbot.com. I have ranked all of the best devices, best smartphone, best mid-range phone, best low-price phone, best smartwatch, everything in the Android world. Tomorrow, greenbot.com.
Nice. And that's going to come in handy for next week's episode because next week we're going to talk about best things.
I have so many opinions.
I'm sure you do. What about you, Ron?
I have nothing coming out tomorrow, but I have nothing coming out until Friday. Go to about.me/RonXO, and where you can choose to follow me on the various social networks. But I am quiet right now because I'm on a total blackout.
Yeah, you are.
Until Star Wars. Brian, I don't know if you can pull up my Twitter, but I posted last night that I am not participating in any communication method. I almost thought about canceling this podcast. I was this close to hunkering down.
I told you I was very sad about your blackout.
I didn't even see that. I didn't see it. Yep. So I am on a total media blackout. Oh, there's Flo. Oh, you'll miss me. We're right here. And then my friend Tom said I'm a fart. Thanks, Tom. But anyway, yeah. So total media blackout. But I'll be back on social media. Come on.
Do you
Friday,
still check text messages?
Yeah. No, I said actually I said if you're friends with me, DM me or if I actually know you, text me if you need to get in touch.
I just mean one of your friends could really pull a really bad prank on you.
I know. Okay. But I'm willing to take that risk because I do not want this movie spoiled for me.
Understood. Yeah. Understood.
Yeah. Very nervous. Very nervous.
I would agree, but you don't have to wait too much longer. You're going to see it.
I'm almost there. This is honestly the media blackout has been in effect since the summer, but this is the real
This is down to the wire. This is all it takes is one.
This mistake. Is the last mile, yesterday as I was working, it was like 3:00, and I started to see tweets coming in from my friends in LA who were going to the premiere in LA. I was like, nope, that's it. Shut it down. Open the bunker.
Mean.
What?
Why are they tweeting, from the premiere?
Because they want you to know that they're there.
Now the thing is, I'm sure that they were being respectful and not, but I just don't want to risk it.
No, I understand.
And what one man's innocent comment is another man's spoiler. So I just nothing.
That's true.
Which I have learned because I have spoiled Scandal for my coworker many times.
Was it scandalous?
It's Scandal.
It's always.
It's Shondaland. I mean, everything in Shondaland is a scandal.
All right.
Brian, what about you?
Don't really have anything coming up. I'm going to be really busy with best ofs. Apparently, you gave me 107 videos to edit.
Wow.
So
in a year.
But how many of those are Android news segments, Brian?
About 100 of them.
Okay, well, there you
go. We'll talk.
We'll figure it out.
I did give you, actually, that's not a joke.
It's
107 clips. Oops.
We do it for the fans, Jason.
For the fans. I'll tell you, last year over the holidays, I sat on the couch with my sister and brother-in-law and watched the entire Best of show, and they were laughing throughout the entire thing.
I hope you have 2 hours this year. So yeah, no, it's a lot of stuff. But hey, they're fun. Yeah. Brian, I really appreciate all the things that you do for this show.
We appreciate you, Brian.
When he comes to work.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, when I actually show up.
It's about half the time.
Yeah, button pushing doesn't take that much effort. So, but if you do want to follow my other exploits, you can go on Twitter at @cranky_hippo or watch Know How. Me and Padre are. God, I have no idea. We have recorded so many episodes. There he goes in the background for pre-record and stuff. I have absolutely no idea what we're doing. Are we doing something this week? Yeah, something. Yeah, he says we're doing something.
All right.
So check that out.
So check it out. Something happening on
We'll be breaking something, upgrading something, blowing something up.
Definitely involves something, whatever it is.
Something.
As for me, about.me/Jason Howell, music at yellowgoldmusic.com. I have another Android show that you may or may not have heard of. It's called Android App Arena. Sounds similar to this show, I know, because it was inspired by it. You can go to twit.tv/arena and watch as I review 4 new apps on that show every single week, somehow. But that is it for this week. You can leave us a voicemail at 347-SHOW-AAA.
I blame the Pixel C. I had the wrong sound effect there. Let me play the music.
That's okay. Leave us a voicemail, 347-SHOW-AAA. We can we get your emails at AAA@twit.tv. Also, video mail if you want to send it there. Would love that. Twitter, we are at Android Show. We have a subreddit at twitaaa.reddit.com. We have We have an amazing Google Plus community. Just search for All About Android on Google Plus. You'll find it. Lots of people pitching in over there. And show notes and past episodes at twit.tv/AAA and wherever finer podcasts are found. Catch us live every Tuesday, 5 p.m. Pacific, live.twit.tv. That's it for this week. We'll see you next week on another episode of All About Android.
Right on.